discussions considering the COVID situation outside. But that's part and parcel. Teaching learning process never stops in an education institute which is very vibrant and proactive. And no disruptions can actually hamper the teaching learning process. The online classes continued, and it's a great opportunity for us to have wonderful speakers with us. And to begin with, I have my very own student who actually needs no introduction. If I am right, this is her second interactions with the Disha students. I believe in during the first wave, she addressed the students for the first year. Currently, I think they're in second year right now.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I still have my friends then in touch.
Yes, definitely they are. As I said, she's a local celebrity. I mean, everyone knows her in Mangalore. What a talent! What a talent! I mean, for me, it was a proud feeling actually to calling herself as my student. I used to, you remember Disha, before I just left from Udupi and I used to come all the way to Mangalore.
Yeah.
I used to double check with you. Are you there today?
Yeah. I miss those classes, sir, so badly.
Really, I should not do that because for me, all students are same. But then I have to make doubly sure that this girl is there. Now, if this girl is there, it's like the entire class is energetic. Any student or any teacher would love to have such a student. And yes, she has just recently completed her MBA in Sahyadri College of Engineering Management, went on to corporate life, and now she's back to the same alma mater where she's teaching the MBA students in the same college, which is Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management. I mean, you have seen success at a very young age, at a very rapid pace. What do you say about this, Disha?
Well, I don't think it has come by luck or it has just come out of the blue moon or something like that, because I've worked for it, and because I've worked for it, I don't feel that's something to, glorify, because I know how much effort I've put into it. So I would never, ever glorify something like that.
I mean, if I always tell students that hard work always pays, and here is the right example. All right. When I discussed with her yesterday, first of all, I promised her that I will invite her to the Udupi campus, because there is a very interesting session that is touching very close to my heart. I would not like to name it here. In fact, I requested her to deliver that, but she said, no, this is the session which I would like to come there and deliver it in the Udupi campus. I would be waiting for that, Disha.
Yeah, sir, I'm waiting.
I think you delivered that particular session in Sahyadri.
Yeah, for the bridge course. Yeah, for the first batch of autonomous MBA here.
And I'm very sure it was a great success.
Yeah, they loved it.
Today, we have something on the similar side, dismantling myth about personal growth. Very interesting. And there cannot be any better person to talk about it than Disha herself. So let me extend a warm welcome to you, Disha, on behalf of my whole teaching staffs and my students. I extend a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation, even though it was a last moment call. But I knew you would never reject it. That was the
You know whom to come to when you have to do a last minute assignment.
Definitely, yes, definitely. But no, I didn't approach anyone. I straight approached you first, and I knew that you would accept.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. All yours, Disha.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I'll be sharing the screen. Give me a minute.
Just to inform you, I'm very happy to share it's houseful. It's like a multiplex cinema. It's a houseful, and now people will be joining the YouTube to watch you live there.
Wow.
Around,
it's a little intimidating.
Because capacity is around 500, so 500 is houseful. Okay. So I request those students who are unable to join, please catch us live in our YouTube official channel.
So is my screen visible, sir? The PPT?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Students, I repeat, we have shared the YouTube link in the WhatsApp group as well as here. People who are unable to join because of the maximum number, ensure that you log in and catch us live from the YouTube channel. Thank you.
Okay. So as some of you know me very well, I am Disha Shetty, currently a professor who is in a transition from a student to being a lecturer now. I'm totally in a fix because recently I had attended a faculty meeting which was happening in my college, and I was so confused whether to think from the viewpoint of a student or whether to think and act like an adult. So there are certain things that I would love to talk about today because I know you're all of the same age frame. I'm just a couple of years elder to you. So I think we will be it'll be very easy for you to relate to what I'm talking today. So there are certain certain things, maybe we can call it myths or we can call it false light, if I'm not wrong. False light, it's always better to be in the dark shadow than being in a false light, is what I believe. Because there were so many things in school and college that were spoon-fed to me and was so registered and crystallized in my head. But when I actually stepped into the corporate, I was like baffled. What is happening? What we were taught? What kind of hopes were built in us? And what was the world waiting to give us? It was a total shock. And I want to make sure that the students that will come and meet me and interact with me will not be in such a false light, because I want them to exactly know what is there out there and what is waiting for them. And it's not what they have always been prepared since schooling throughout their college. So today we'll be dismantling, or we are going to off that false light that has been fed to us right from a very small age, and we still believe it is. And that's how we console ourselves and try to make us, feel better when we do some wrong decisions. So firstly, I hope each one of us know the basics of communication and effective communication, being both the parties to be awake and participating. I hope I am very awake. I want you all to be awake. Can we have a 1 in the chat box, please, everybody? I want to see if you're awake.
Go on, use your chat box, students.
I want to see how awake you are.
If you really want her to come again, you have to be as interactive as possible.
I'm not going to come to your campus if you don't respond today, because I hate monologues. I used to always say I hate monologues. I always enjoy dialogues. So I want you to be interacting with me, putting forward your experiences and talk about it. Okay, I'll go ahead. So if today's session doesn't go well, you all should know whom to blame. It's Guru sir, because he informed me yesterday afternoon that there's going to be a session, and I tried my level best to get a very crazy topic so that everybody's interested. And I wanted to always talk the truth to the kind of people who are going to be the future of this country. So yes, today I'm going to dismantle the myths of personal growth. So as sir has already told, I'm a Yakshagana artist. I've been in this field from 13 years. And I was constantly torn between this dilemma of behaving like an adult or a child, because usually when there's a family discussion happening, you try to be an adult and act all mature and try to put your contributions, and then your mother says, shut up. You're not an adult, behave like a kid. And in the same way, when you behave like a kid in the class, your lecturer says, shut up. You're old now, you need to act mature. Now, the magic about the situation is nobody, there are so many authors, great orators telling you, do that, do this, suggestions, advices, 7 qualities of successful leader, 12 tricks to have a happy life. I don't know how precise they are with the numbers, but yeah, but all these things, they tell you what to do, but never tell you how to do it. So this is something that I want to tell, I want to share the kids or the students that will interact with me. The how is very important. Okay, so there are lines like nothing is uglier than a fully grown infant. There are people telling that if you act like a kid, even when you're grown and you're you have responsibilities to take, and if you still behave like a kid, you're nothing but a burden to the people around you. But there are people giving you big quotes like, if you have still restored the creativity and restored the kid in you, you are a very successful person. You have to always restore and nurture the kid in you. But I'll tell you, there is this magic balance or the magic mantra to handle such situations. It is this one sentence that I'm going to say. It is, you have to be mature enough to nurture the kid in you. That is what I have come up with. You have to be mature enough to nurture the kid in you. So you have to make this sweet balance, that equilibrium that brings you to to a state of suspension in between being a kid and between being an adult. So it's very important for you to know when to bring the adult in you out and when to bring the kid in you out. Okay, so it's very important to understand and strike a right balance in behaving accordingly in every situation. So there is something called social relevancy. I always talk about social relevancy to everybody I meet. Okay, so there is a place for everything, and that particular place has a code of conduct, and you have to behave likewise. So it's very essential for us as teenagers to understand what is expected of us in particular situations. Now, being the only daughter, I was so very pampered, but because I was an artist, I was exposed to a lot of exposure in the art field and public field. I slowly came to learn what was expected of me as a member of the society, as an artist, as a public figure. So gradually what happens is I came to know where I have to show the childish part of me and where I should show the adult part of me. So it's very essential to be very observant when you move forward in the phase of life. So that balance is everything. So you need to strike that balance and you see it'll work like magic. Second one, power. Now, I still remember, I think in the same subject which Guru sir taught me, the management and organization behavior, I still remember writing 3 pages straight for the question, state the sources of power. And I got full marks in that, like 20 marks answer, I got full marks. I was wondering, what did I read? What did I write? And how did it turn out to be in the actual world? Trust me, I was into a public relations institute or company in Bangalore where we used to handle ministers' social media and public appearance planning and etc. It was such an exciting job for us. And what used to happen was I was the youngest. I was 23 years old and the entire labor and entire workforce was 30 and above. In spite of them being there, working there for such a long period, I was valued more. I was weighted more. This was that one company which wouldn't care how long you've been with them. Okay, it just cares how worthy you are and what good productivity you can give to the company. So I'm telling you, competency is everything. If you think money is power, no. If you think resources is power, strength is power, speed is power, nothing is power when it comes to competency. Competency is everything. Can anybody tell me what is competency according to you, what you understand? Sir, can they come on unmute? I think no. They can just put it in the chat.
Better they use the chat box, otherwise it creates a lot of background disturbance.
Okay, I know. It's okay. So I'll let you know. Competency. Competency is a characteristics or the qualities in you that will help you carry out a task very successfully. That is competency. Competency doesn't mean that you need to have some generic skills or some extraordinary skills. These are such simple qualities that will help you carry out a job assigned to you very successfully and effectively. These are competencies. So it's very essential for you all to understand the fact that education and academia stops at 12th. And what you're doing in your graduation and post-graduation is nothing but a little bit of makeup and going for interviews. You're just brushing yourself up, combing your hairs, presenting yourself well, so that you're ready to give back to the country, to the society, what you've taken from it. The same thing. What happened to me is I was so sure. I took a bridge course session for the students of the first batch of autonomous for Sahyadri, and I told them, you're walking into Sahyadri with a plain sheet with a heading resume in your hand. And everything that you do in these 2 years is just to fill it. You make a decision how you're going to decorate this paper. Because everything, even if you take a small social welfare initiative, it's going to come in your resume. This resume is going to advertise for you. It's going to be your extended attribute that's going to speak for you in your absence. So I want you all to understand that it's no time for fun now. You can always, mix fun with learning, because I always call myself an edutainer. I never call myself as a lecturer, professor, teacher. I always want to call myself an edutainer because I'm an artist, because I want to always bring education and entertainment together. So I call myself an edutainer. So always make sure that you have a blend of fun and learning. No, don't make your graduation, your UG completely about fun. Make it a proper blend, a beautiful concoction of learning and fun. So you need to understand competency is everything. It's very necessary for all of you to be prepared and equipped with the required competencies for stepping into the corporate world. You need to stay updated with what's happening out there. What are the requirements out there? So just the way how we keep up with the style, the fashion, the trends that are happening on social media, it's just as simple as that. You need to know what's happening in the field of marketing. You need to know what are the innovations happening in the field of engineering, infrastructure, etc. It's just as simple as that. So the next one, which I would always love to talk about, is rejection, because I am now a very thick-skinned lady because I've faced a lot of rejections. You need to understand the simple concept. Okay, rejection is such a heavy word when somebody throws it at us. There are two things: feedback and rejection. Feedback is when you are getting these readings on your answer paper by your lecturers and teachers. But rejection is a stronger version of feedback. Nobody is going to come to you with a reading to put a tick mark and a wrong mark in your paper once you pass out of your BCom or your BBA or your graduation courses. Everybody is going to be ready to punch you on the face or either slap you on the cheeks, because I always feel that rejection is just a little stronger version of feedback. The more rejections you get, the more opportunities you have to work on yourself. The moment you get rejected today, okay, your communication skill is weak. Okay, noted. I'm going to work on my communication skills. Tomorrow you get rejected because your presentation skills are weak. Okay, I'll work on my presentation skills. The more times you get rejected, the more opportunities you get to work on your loopholes, and the more closer you get to your perfection levels. So I always believe, it's always necessary to make yourself headstrong when it comes to rejections. Rejections are not something that's going to, pull you down. These are the things that they're supposed to lift you up. So I think we have to change this impression about rejection. What is the highest thing that the people on job portals like Naukri.com or LinkedIn get? What is the number one thing that everybody gets there in the highest numbers there? It's nothing other than rejections. Everybody is facing rejections on a daily basis. So who are we? We have to face rejection. See, our field of expertise is different, and we do take time to identify and discover it. It takes a lot of time for a person to fall in the right place. So I don't think anybody has to, think of rejections as a downfall or as a negative energy to pull you down in the process of growing. So rejection as in the word, I always say, I got rejected so many times, even before I got into Bangalore, my job as a public relations officer. And they used to always say, Disha, I'm going to reject you outright. It's going to be stronger. It's just like a bow and arrow. The further you pull the arrow, the deeper the penetration is going to be when it reaches the target. So the rejection that I faced was so bad that I almost had a panic attack. I almost had a panic attack on the second day. I have to tell this because I proudly tell this, because that's how I started working on it. And see, the chances for you to flourish and chances for you to prosper is high when you gracefully handle rejections. How you handle rejections has a lot to do on how you're going to end up in the end of your life. So it's very important you handle rejections very gracefully. Now, this one is my very, very, very interesting and very favorite topic. It may seem like a rocket science word, a multi-potentialite, because I used to always have sir talking to me about, and he used to come to class and say, Disha, and we used to have a small debate, a very quick debate, and sir used to tell, this is an era of specialists, and this is not an era for all-rounders. Sir, you're wrong. It's an era for all-rounders, because I always believe the more fields you have knowledge on, the more people you get exposed to, the more social you become, the more your network growth is. So that's what I experienced.
I always love to debate and do not agree with that, because it's in the long term, finally, the era of specialists, not the all-rounders.
We will see that, sir.
We will see that, yeah. How long did you see Hardik Pandya survive in all the three formats?
No. There are conditions. No, this is about networking. When I'm talking about networking, it's very essential to keep each other engaged. So what I believe is, because I am, having interest in 16 plus fields or 16 plus domains, I am exposed to people of all the 16 domains. And when I'm exposed to all the 16 domains, I have a lot of networking to be done, a lot of knowledge to be gained from there. So this is when a company of a person becomes very engaging, because whenever a person comes and talks to you about any random thing, you have something to contribute, and you can always keep that person engaged. And the moment you have your deep-rooted and specialized knowledge in only one field, if there is a person from a different field, you can never keep him engaged, because he's going to someday you're going to run out of the knowledge that you have in that specialized field, and you're going to bore him or bore that person who is going to, trying to associate to you. So what I'm telling is, we have this concept of transactional analysis in organization behavior. So having interest in 16 plus fields or having knowledge of various domains is very essential for you to be a more engaging human being, a more creative, a more approachable human being, because absolutely nothing is out of topic when it comes to you. There are very few things that are going to, make you think, because nothing is out of syllabus to you. So it's very important for somebody to be multi-potentialite when it comes to engaging and social people and in groups. Okay, it's very, very essential. So it's always necessary to have a T-shaped knowledge framework. That is, you have interest on 16 different or 16 plus fields, but then in-depth knowledge of that one field that is very close to your heart. Now I'm talking to sir. I'm doing a compromise there. So a T-shaped structure for knowledge is very important. As an MBA, we should all know, as people from commerce background, we should all know to have a knowledge in the form of T frame. Okay. So next, I would always love to talk about charisma, because this is that one concept that not everybody understands. Okay. Now, if I ask you, what is the biggest animal in the jungle? Which is the fastest? Which is the cleverest? Which is the tallest? Which is the most fierce? But yet, who is the king? The lion. Is it the tallest? Is it the fattest? Is it the biggest? Is it the quickest or the cleverest? No. The lion is the king because it believes it is. The moment I believe I'm a leader, the moment I have a self-image of myself to be a leader, I don't know it was when, at what particular age that was implanted in me. From a very small age, this is a standing exemplary. I'm a standing exemplary for this of self-image. From a very small age, I used to always see myself as a leader. From a very young age, maybe third, fourth standard. At that age, it was implanted in me. I don't know how. God bless. So I was always, forced to believe that I'm a leader. And the moment I started believing that I'm a leader, my actions, the way I talk, the way I walk, the way I behave, the way I act, everything started to align with it. Everything magically started to align with it. I don't know how. I didn't put any efforts in, being a good orator or being very strong at communications or helping people or leading people, setting benchmarks. I was not, personally driven to do all those things. But somehow, because of my self-image, everything fell in place. So that is very, very, very important. Everybody must have a very highly placed image of yourself, because there is a very, if you take a bunch of 100 students now or 100 teenagers, and you take and you ask them and you analyze the kind of self-esteem they have, you either find them in the right extreme or the left extreme. That is the superiority complex or the inferiority complex. These inferiority complex kids are the ones who feel they are unworthy of love, respect, or, opportunities. And the superiority complex students always, or the kids always believe, they are always consumed by bigotry. What is bigotry? Bigotry is, believing that you're the end of everything, your ultimatum, and others' opinions, it really doesn't matter. So both the things are so dangerous, so very dangerous. You need to have that one position of suspension in between again, where you're neither having a superiority complex nor an inferiority complex. You are just there. You're just there. You're ready to learn. You're ready to share. Okay. You have that enough gap between between you and the inferiority complex, and enough gap between you and the superiority complex. So that is very important. The kids of superiority complex and inferiority complex will never understand the concept of charisma. They don't know what is charisma. Let me tell you, charisma is that attribute in a human being where he is able to influence the minds of others, where he attracts. He is a human magnet. Okay, he is a person who is going to attract people and make them believe or make them think in a way he wants. That is a kind of charisma. That is a kind of power a person should have if he's a leader. So this is not something that you can, learn. It is something that has to be coming out of sheer and very pure sense of, sense of giving. You have to really want to serve some purpose. You really want to be a giver because you know how it is to want. So you give because you know how it is to want. So that is where the birth of charisma happens. And it's very essential. And people with charisma always stand out. Okay, now this is one big drama concept that I've come across in every local channels. The moment there is a topper, they bring them, make them sit on the local TV channels and ask, "Neev hege time balance madudu, neev timetable martira." I used to always sit like this. I used to be asked the same question. You're in Yakshagana, you're in sports, you do that, you do this. Then I used to just ask them, like, if I'm really passionate about academics, if I'm really passionate about Yakshagana, why should I give time to Yakshagana? Why should I give time to academics? Academics is something I love. Yakshagana is something that I love. Yakshagana and academics will take time out for itself. I don't need to make a timetable for it. See, I was just reading, even I used to feel schedules and timetables are such a big headache, and I used to not like keeping timetables. The moment I do it, the next day it goes to dustbin. Okay, so many. I feel sometimes I'm doing the timetable for the dustbin and not me. So it used to happen that I used to make so many timetables, and I was just looking on YouTube, saying, I just typed these exact words, how to enjoy doing, carrying out schedules, because I was not enjoying carrying out schedules, because you're always thinking that schedule is a restriction, it's a prison, you have to do this, and then you have to do that, and you're not kind of enjoying. Remember, if you're doing a schedule and you're not enjoying it, remember, that's not your schedule. You are not living your truth. A schedule is as simple as planning a dream vacation. Why do you plan a dream vacation? So that you make the best use of those 4-5 days when you go out there, optimum fun. The same way, have an idea of a perfect, productive, practical day in your head, and then do a schedule. There is no chance this trick is going to fail. Okay, you are going to enjoy following that schedule, because it's what you want. At the end of the day, it's a pathway. It's not a prison. It's a pathway to having a best day. So the moment I saw Jordan Peterson talking about schedules like this, I was like, oh my God, all this time I was thinking schedule is a prison, it's a restriction, but there is a different trick to doing a schedule. If you're not happy with your schedule, always remember that's not your schedule, and you are cheating and you're doing injustice to yourself. And next one. This is a very fun topic. I always put this topic in front of my crowd, and I ask them, choose your pond. Do you want to be the big fish in the small pond, or you want to be the small fish in the big pond? Or if I have to rudely articulate it, do you want to be the stupidest guy in the group, or you want to be the smartest guy in the group? Can you please somebody explain to me? You can come on chat room and just tell me, and sir will read out the best answer for me. Can you please take 5 minutes time and just give me your explanation to why you have selected the particular option?
Absolutely, go on. This is like
I want to see how creative kids of Disha are and how they think. Come on, I know every one of you is just 22 or 21 or 22. So don't go and tell things like, I want to be the stupidest guy in the group, so I want to learn, I get to learn and all that. No, it doesn't work like that. I know how it works. Stupidest person in the group is such a hell place to be when you're in the corporate. The kind of rejections, the kind of humiliations and embarrassments you have to face being the stupidest guy in the group is unbearable. There is no human that could bear it and still say, I want to learn. No. It's such a miserable place to be. Sir, any inputs there on the chat box?
A couple of them just mentioned that they want to be the smartest in the room.
They want to be the smartest. Okay. Can they justify? Can you all justify, please?
Okay, there's one from Mangalore who says, I want to be the biggest fish. Okay.
Like a blue whale.
Like a blue whale, yeah. Okay, most of them says they want to be a smart guy.
Okay. Now I'll tell you this.
Okay, there's one like you, okay. Stupidest in the room, as nobody will have any expectation from us.
No, actually, I'm wondering, he's the smartest guy.
That's a good one. So there's nobody has any expectation from us, so no pressure. Peaceful life, no Prithvi. Excellent, yeah. Okay, the small fish in the big pond, because a large amount of opportunities around me in the big pond.
Okay.
Somebody says want to be both. I want to be smarter sometimes.
They're having an identity crisis probably at this point of time. So yeah, this is a clean picture of identity crisis. Let me tell you what it is. Now, this is a very smart decision to make, okay? Most of them think, okay, we want to be the stupidest guy. We want to be the smartest guy. Nobody wants to tell, I don't want to be both. I want to be a mediocre guy who's just doing his job.
Actually, I'll tell you. Yes. No, I didn't get any of those answers.
Yeah, I'll tell you why I started thinking like this. When you're a stupidest guy in a group, you're not just a disease to yourself, but you're a disease to everybody around you. You're going to be a burden to everybody. They're going to belittle you, criticize you, and you're going to be victimized. You're going to be humiliated, embarrassed. And I don't think so anybody is that headstrong to survive that. As of today, no, a big no. So being a stupidest guy in the group is a very, very miserable place to be in today's corporate world. So you can never think of that place at all. It's almost a hell, okay? Again, coming to a smart guy. The moment you become the big fish in the pond, you have to understand that you don't belong to the pond.
Disha, there's one interesting line.
Okay.
They say, how do I know whether I'm stupid in the group?
That's a very, very, very smart question. Very smart. Who is that, sir? Who is that?
There's a mobile number displaying, actually.
Very smart. Very smart.
But that's the right question. Yeah. How will he know that he's the stupidest?
See, usually what happens is the things that others do will look like something unbelievable to you. Okay, because you won't be having a competitive approach to what others are doing. That is when you have to realize that you're the stupidest. Because you have absolutely no commitment to your work and you don't want to compete. The moment you don't want to compete, you need to understand that you're out of their league. They're not even considering you as a competition. And most of the time, what happens in group dynamics is if you're the dumbest person in the group, they're going to keep you close because you're harmless. You're harmless. You're the safest guy they can be spending time with. You need to understand that if the extremely well performer of a group is spending time with you, it is a big red flag for you to understand that you are the weakest because you're harmless. You're treated as harmless. Second one, smartest guy in the room. The moment you become the big fish in the small pond, you should understand that that's not your pond. You need to be in another pond. There is no opportunity for you to grow further because there is no more steps in the ladder for you when you're the biggest fish in the small pond. So there's going to be stagnation on your end and everybody below you is getting to learn something from you, but you're not getting anything to learn from them. That's again one of the biggest downfalls of being the smartest guy in the room. So what I'm saying is in corporate, you need to keep a very mediocre pace of development, of personal growth. You need to go slow. Slowly is the fastest way to success. This is a simple thing that I always tell because this is out of my personal experience. I've been there. I've done that. I've been there for 2 months straight. Such a competitive environment. I swear to God, it was so frustrating. I used to not sleep at night. And I always understood that, okay, I need to be mediocre. The moment I am fast growing, people will see me as a threat. The moment I'm the stupidest in the person, they're going to try and suppress me and they're not going to consider me at all. I'll feel like a fool. So it's always better to have a mediocrity. Mediocrity is going to be the new trend of corporate as of now. I don't know how many years more it's going to be like that. But mediocrity is something wherein you are in that one position where you're at a proper distance away from the stupids and also not very far from the cool ones. Okay, you're right there in between because you have enough opportunities for growth as well as away from all the trouble that's the stupid guy is facing. So it's always better to be in that one position where you have enough growth as well as staying away from the low line. So this is the decision that we need to take. We are always told to be the best, the number one and whatnot. It doesn't work like that because there's always a marake marad or what do we say? Good day, adda irtade. So it's always like that. I have been there in my corporate experience. I have found out that I have to slow down and I have to make sure that my growth is slow paced. The moment I have my growth slow paced, everything becomes easier, very easier.
The question is, what if all the employees think that way? What if all are mediocre?
No, sir, it won't be like that because everybody is different. Everybody is different. My slow is not necessarily your slow.
Very true.
Because we have fundamental differences. I'm a different person, you're a different person. If I'm at for me, if I'm example, if I'm just having a car and I'm going at 110 and that's super fast for me. And then I decide to slow down and I bring it to a 90 is a slow for me. But then you're the person who goes at 60 and tells 30 is a slow for you. There's difference. The scale is different for everybody. So there's still going to be that hierarchy, still going to be differences in performance. But mediocrity is very important. Next, share your knowledge. It is a way to achieve immortality. Now, this is something I want to be included in our education system today.
Absolutely.
We are just studying something and just doing it for our exams. And the students who score a 90 are not able to, spit out a single word of what they have gained in all those years of knowledge that they have got in their college, during their schooling, during their undergraduations and graduations. One word they're not able to say and share. What is the use of such knowledge that you have if you're not able to transfer it to somebody else or you're not able to prove that you know it? And I think this plays a very, very major role, and it is a responsibility of the education system that they have to make sure that they inbuild the quality in a student to be able to reshare the knowledge that he has. The moment this happens, most of the work of the student, teachers are gone. We all have these few students, few friends in our friend circle who just teaches the entire syllabus in the last 3 hours of exam. I am that. I have all those blessings of my friends, because the portion, 6-month portion, which my lecturers used to struggle to complete, I used to complete it in 3 hours and make sure they pass. So this kind of qualities are very necessary in a student. It's not enough if you just mug up, study, and come and write. You should be able, and you won't believe me, you know how I used to study, sir, for exams. I open the book and I imagine there are a bunch of students in front of me, and that's the way I study, like I'm teaching them. That's the best role play I can do while studying. So that is how I used to do it in reality. I used to come 3 hours prior to the exam because it was in the afternoon, and I used to have 6 to 7 of my friends sitting in front and just gaping at me, and I continuously just mug up the entire syllabus to them, and they write the same examples which I give to them in that 3 hours of preparation. They write it and come.
I've seen you scribbling a lot. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of stories where you scribble a lot about the particular concepts.
Yeah, I write a lot. Actually, that's the only knowledge that, what I scribble on the paper gets scribbled on my head. That's how it works. And my handwriting is miserable because my thought process is very fast, and I have to keep up the pace when I'm writing. So I used to have this bad handwriting complaints from my lecturers, but then I used to, somehow manage it. So it's very important to have the character in you to reshare the knowledge. If you're getting enlightened, you make sure you enlighten others. So that is very, very important. Now, the harsh truth about personal growth. It's not about getting rid of the problems. There are going to be so many books and so many lecturers and motivational speakers who are going to tell you, if you do this, your problems will go. No, as risk is to a business, problem is to life. You cannot totally eradicate it. You cannot totally uproot it. You can only anticipate it. So you have to perceive your problems, live it, understand it, analyze it, go through it, and pass it. And then that wisdom that you get from the learnings, gone are the days that, you're almost, going to step into the corporate world, and you're just going to, get done with lessons coming in books. Lessons are never going to come in books for you from now on. Lessons are going to come in fireballs. Fireballs and slaps and punches. You won't know from where it's falling, and it's so scary to, even, what do I say? To imagine. So it's better we always anticipate rather than expecting the problems to go away. What is life if there is no problems? And what is a ocean without waves, right? It's so boring, it's so plain. So it's very important for us to have that thrill factor. I was always that thrill seeker, and I always feel, I used to always say to my friends, hey, what is this? Yeah, my life is going fine, like nothing's happening. I'm waiting for something to happen. There is no thrill, there is no interest. So I'm that kind of a person. And then don't completely rely on quantum leaps. So this is this one topic I tell every time. You should know the difference between mass and class. The masses without the M, you know what it is. So you should always make sure whom you support, whom you promote, whom you entertain. A girl blinks an eye on a video and becomes a star overnight. And we are the ones who entertained it. Don't you think there are certain other things that needed that attention, needed an appreciation, who has done a lot better than that to the country, to the society, maybe to the system? We just made somebody a star overnight. We as educated class, we as students of commerce with some education, with some principles, with some thoughts in us, new thoughts and ideas in us, we are supposed to set standards and show the world what you're supposed to encourage, what you're supposed to, and promote. When such things happen, the actual artists, the real people who have talent, they die off. They back out of the race. And this is such an injustice that's happening now. So never completely rely on quantum leaps. Quantum leaps are only when you are lucky. And lucky and hope is not a strategy for anything. It's not a strategy for anything. Trust me, hope is not a strategy for anything. Luck is not a strategy for anything. And one more thing is responsibility. Now, I being a hyperactive student, hyperactive, mischievous kid when in my teenage, I also, I started inculcating these 3 steps of responding to things. Responsibility. First one, not everything that happens needs your response. Second one, if it needs your response, it doesn't need it immediately. Third one, how you respond. These 3 things, if you keep in your mind, I think most of your problems are gone. So when you're becoming impulsive, you're out of anger, you just, I used to be a kind of person who used to act and then think. I used to like, ayo, I should always have that reaction after I do something. So it's always better you first understand that not everything that happens needs your response. But if it needs your response, it doesn't need it immediately. Take some time to think, because there are always developments to the story. So you can always develop the way you react. And then if it needs a reaction, when to react, and when to react after you decide how you're supposed to react. So your reaction should be in such a way that there is zero harm, but 100% impact. That is what I have learned in the gap between, I remember having a session for you 1.5 years back, I believe, sir. Yeah. So what I was then, what I am today, I think I myself see a lot of difference. And I thought I should share it with you all. This is an, what do I say, an advanced Disha, I can say, because I have a corporate experience. So I think these are few things that everybody needs to know. And I want some of you to come and share with me your experiences and some of the things that you would like to ask me, because because of this online platform, I'm very frustrated talking to myself, looking at the camera. I don't even know you're awake. But yeah, anyway, I want you to ask me questions so that I can answer to you, and always stay connected to me, because I'm going to come to your campus very soon.
That's my responsibility.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Students, I forgot to mention then, this platform, you should definitely follow her. Thousands of people follow Disha for the wonderful work that she does, either to the art, either to the work that she does. Okay, somebody is saying, do come to Mangalore branch. Okay,
Sure.
Girish sir will definitely bring you there.
Okay.
Also, I'm happy to tell you there are students from Mangalore branch also attending this particular session.
Wow, that's great.
Right. So yes, there's one question. He says, how do I make sure both being mediocre and grab all the opportunities I get in my way?
Don't you, see, mediocre doesn't mean you have to be low-key, okay? It's just that you're taking a little longer to reach where you want to be, the benchmark, okay? I'm talking about the pace. I'm not talking about your skills. I'm talking about the pace at which you move, okay? Because, what comes easy goes easy. That's what I believe. Which happens suddenly doesn't last for a long time. So when I say you have to be mediocre, you're always open to opportunities, okay? When you're mediocre, you have more time. You're not very aggressively waiting for opportunities. You'll never do that, because when you're deprived of opportunity, you get distressed. So it's very important for you to be calm, wait for opportunities, grab it, utilize it. That's it. There is no rocket science about it. I'm talking about the pace and not about the skill. I repeat again. Anything else?
All right. Somebody is asking my favorite question. What have you written in your 4 columns of strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges?
SWOT?
Yes, SWOT.
Okay. I always say it's not SWOT, it's SWAN, N, not threat, it is necessities. I believe threats are something, it's outdated, okay? Threat, the T is outdated, and it's necessities. What is supposed to be inculcated in you in order to meet the outside world. So my strengths, should I even tell? I love talking. And today I got such a nice platform, 500 people talking to me. I'm so happy. I mean, listening to me, and I'm just talking. I'm so happy. And thanks to sir, I'm looking forward for more sessions like these, because I love talking, because I know I talk out of my experiences. I don't talk out of books. I don't talk out of videos. I talk out of my experiences. So I always believe that if I have done a mistake, and if I communicate it to the other people, they will surely make a point of it and make sure that they don't repeat the same. So I speak out of my experiences, and I know it's going to have a lot of bearing in your life if I share it to you. So that is my strength, and strength is everything that I feel. The self-imaging of myself is really high. I always think highly about myself. I never have this superiority or inferiority complex. I'm open to constructive criticism, but I don't react to destructive criticism. And when it comes to weakness, what do I say? Weakness, I'm very, still a little unpolished in some fields wherein I am compulsive decision maker. I can say I used to be a series of wrong decisions all my 23 years of life, because I always go to the trial and error method rather than, analyze and pick the right one. I always go to the trial and error method. So sometimes I feel, okay, life is very short. I can't do the trial and error method in everything. Of course, no. So that's my weakness. And necessities is that I need to stay updated is what I believe. I need to, catch up with time and what's happening in the VUCA environment, which is very volatile and unpredictable. So that's one weakness. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, Sagar is like, we got to know that you like to talk.
All right. Disha, when I take the next question, could you please stop the screen share so that we can see perfectly?
Yeah. Yeah, now?
Yeah, great. Yes.
Yes.
All right. There's one very good, interesting question. What are the takeaways or the lessons from Yakshagana that you would like to execute and implement it in your professional career, which is your teaching?
Teaching. Well, if I have to tell you proudly, this is such a question that I would ask myself because I want to boast about the answer, okay? Because I have played 500 plus Krishna roles, the counselor of the world. What do you want me not to take from him? Like that, I don't know. I'm so obsessed with Krishna, and that's mainly the reason maybe I'm obsessed with myself. Firstly, I have to say. The thing is, everything about Krishna is something that I love. And he's that one person that sets an exemplary. He's the highest level of yogi, multifaceted, and he's a complete form. And I would love to, inculcate that. I want to be a teacher, a guide, a friend, and everything for a student that he would expect out of his second home. Because when it comes to mentor and teachers, they do just, most of them just, kind of have this demarcation between being a teacher and student. But I want to go beyond that. I want to kind of evolve, evolve the entire concept of student teacher, because I never use the word change, because change can be positive or negative. I always use the word evolve, because evolve always means becoming a better version of you or making something better. So I want to revolutionize the entire the concept of teacher and student, which is lost. The Gurukul system, when a teacher and a student is there, is not just the teaching that we see. The entire teacher as a form, the way he speaks, the way he talks, the walks, what he wears, his approach to life is something that we are going to imitate. I want to be that. The Gurukul system has a lot to give to us. I think maybe restore a part of it. That's what I believe I have to do in the coming years.
Wonderful. You just begun your journey in this field. I wish you should continue on this for a very long time, until your retirement.
Yes,
right.
Definitely.
Somebody says, be it about jobs, studies, or opportunities, how do I get to know what is right? Or like, what am I doing is right? When do I know that I need to improvise?
See, for everything it takes, not everybody is like me. I'm a trial and error kind of a person. I always try and then, fall and get up and brush up and again try another one. But I don't think everybody has that level of resources, time, or patience. It's, when you are very particular about what you're investing your time and resources in, you need to do a lot of homework. When you do a lot of homework, even if you fail in that particular field, you now know what not to do again. So I always see it in a positive way, because if I fail in something, now I know, okay, this is outdated. Okay, now I know what things I am not supposed to do. So this is how you're supposed to see things. We don't usually land up in the right field or right domains at one go. We take time. All of us take time.
Right. What are the 16 fields of interest of yours which you mentioned?
Now, should I?
Some of them at least.
I'm interested in sports. I'm into Yakshagana, theatrical drama, cinema, poetry, oratory, epigrams, blogging, photography, and modeling, then motivation. And I have to say, I'm very much interested in gender topics, maybe gender identity, gender crisis, or something related to Kama Sutra, the Vatsyayan history, and sports, of course, music, almost all jazz, Carnatic, and dance, 4 to 5 forms, Bharatanatyam, classical, semi-classical, and other things. If I can go on for so long, but definitely my interest levels are different in all these domains, which is really close to my heart, really takes a lot of my time from the day. That's it.
Your parents are so lucky.
No, they can't relate to anything I speak. They feel I am autistic or something. because nothing I speak is like, my mom is really simple and she doesn't understand the concept of a hyperactive kid. She doesn't understand. She thinks I need to be toned down.
What I really appreciate of them is they have given you what you want. I mean,
Yeah,
they have let you
definitely.
to do
I'm
what you like.
always lucky in that matter. Always. She has given me enough freedom to go ahead with what I like.
See, you have become also like a brand ambassador for Sayadri. I can see you everywhere in the hoardings or in the advertising materials.
So that's what happened when they called me for an interview. They asked me what you can do for the college. I was surprised. Like, don't you know me? I was like, I have done everything beyond my abilities as a student. So of course I can do much more as a lecturer.
Wonderful. My blessings and wishes are always there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is, I don't know this question, but there is too early, but it's an interesting question. What career mistake has given you the biggest lesson?
Career, I've already told you, my 23 years of life has been a series of disasters of wrong decision making. Everything is a learning for me right from the beginning, So I you know why I selected commerce? Because I was allergic to maths and I wanted to fall into arts. And my mom said, arts is for, you had this prejudice that time, you had this stereotyping where it goes like arts is for people who cannot manage anything and they just have to do a degree. So I went to commerce. Boom, there I had no explanation, no actual research done on that field, and I went to commerce. But then I'm the kind of person who just enters and adapts. I'm that kind of person. I enter and I adapt. That's what happened throughout. I entered BBA, I adapted to it. I came into MBA, I adapted to it. But now I'm taking it as a passion. I'm taking it to a next level because I'm in love with it. I think I've fallen into the right field.
Okay. What do you say about believing? Oh, sorry, I lost it. Yeah. What do you say about believing in yourself? Simple question.
What do I?
What do you say about believing in yourself?
Yeah, I told you the lion story. Lion is a king because it believes it is. Simple. You don't need to wait for the validation. I'll tell you frankly, in spite of having a lot of followers on Instagram, I never post pictures and I never look at the likes. I never look at the comments. I post pictures because, damn, I look so pretty. I want to see me in that platform also. That is the kind of mentality I have. Don't want validations. There were times when I off the comment sections also on YouTube or on various social media because I don't care. Because I feel I'm cute and that's over. That's ultimatum. I don't care about what you say. That's my field and that's my field for speech, and I'm going to do it. I like myself. I like what I'm doing, and I'm going to showcase it. Oh, finish, close. It's been so easy for me after that.
Well, what do you do when you feel very low, not motivated at all?
Oh, I pamper myself a lot. I bring lots of essential oils, put it all on my hair, get a nice massage, or read a book. I dance. I do Zumba. The first thing I do when I'm feeling low is Zumba.
And you order a lot of pizzas.
No, I'm a brand ambassador for Laziz, 4 outlets in Mangalore, Kannur, Kerala. So 4 outlets, she tells I'm very lucky because when she started, initially it was just 1 outlet. Now she has 4. And for all the 4, I'm doing branding for her. So she's like, yay.
And I've never seen you sharing it with anyone. You gulp it alone, all alone.
No, sir, that's just 1 or 2 slices I have. Rest all my friends will be there in the back of the picture. They'll be waiting. Finish it off, I'm going to eat it.
हर एक friend कमीना होता है. Okay, how important is to stay positive in our tough times?
Positive. It is difficult, okay? I wouldn't give you false light or false hope. It is very difficult to have that integrity when you're feeling very low, when you see people doing really well around you and you are at a very, dark phase of your life. It's not easy to hold that integrity or hold your mind together, or hold yourself together. But the best thing you can do is at that particular time, look back to how far you've come. I've done all that because I used to just sit back. I have a habit of writing my diary. I sit and write. So there is this concept which was given by Dandapani. He says, if you're frustrated over something, you need to have an energy shift. That negative energy which is there in your head, it needs to flow down to ink. And the moment you write it on paper, the energy is going to shift to paper. And then you need to crush it and burn it. I used to do that, but initially it used to work. And then later on, maybe I was just thinking, okay, I'm not going to fool myself for long. I need to just believe that, okay, this is going wrong and I need to work on it. That's it. You cannot take more than 2 days of feeling low, okay? That's it.
of questions more. I'm sorry, but let me tell you, I think this is the first guest interaction where my chat box is filled with so many questions.
I'm so happy.
They're loving you. Well, this is an interesting question. You will like it. What was your parents' reaction regarding Yakshagana affecting your career? Did it anyways affect your career?
It helped my career. The thing is, who asked this question? So you have a name there?
Yeah, I have. Wait.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Sailesh.
Huh?
Sailesh.
Okay, Shailesh. The thing is, if for your kind information, my mother and my aunt are famous female Yakshagana artists who are lecturers and teachers themselves.
That nobody knew.
Then matter close. I don't need to give you an explanation. Because see, being an Yakshagana artist is everything, okay? You need to be an orator, you need to be a person with knowledge, you need to be expressive, you need to be good at acting, socializing, everything. So all these characteristics combined is something that a corporate world needs. So it has always helped me rather than creating an issue there. And people, used to always come, okay, Sundays, Disha has a show, we need to go and see Disha's show. That was a leisure for them. So they used to always enjoy, talking to me and mingling with me.
I thought this question would come up. If not MBA, which course would I have picked up?
Oh, now this is something I've not thought about. See, initially when I got into MBA, I just wanted to do a double degree, and something that was coming next to BBA was MBA. But then once I got into it, I got to know the essence of it and how it could help me. If not, I think, oh my God, that's such a different question. I really don't know. Where would I be? I maybe directly go into corporate without doing a double degree, maybe, because I cannot think of a course which would actually groom me better than MBA. I think MBA groomed me. So I think I cannot think of anything else.
Great. Somebody wants to know your role model. Who is your role model?
In which field? I have role models for different fields.
I know.
16 fields, 16 people.
Okay. I'm very sure after this session, you will be a role model for many of us.
Oh, thank you so much.
Any incident that you tackled on your own?
Oh yeah, as an Yakshagana artist, I was at a very young age. I was exposed to public, and you know how it works. Hosa neer baruvaga hale neeru ildu hogbeku. So I was here in this field for around 7 years now, and there were because when I was first entering to the field, I was a very young, jumpy, happy-go-lucky girl. Everybody loved me. People just take you to that level of height and just keep you there in limelight for so long. And the moment somebody better comes, so yeah, I wouldn't say like new, but when somebody new comes, okay, they want change on the stage, and they shift all that light to her, and you're just standing there in darkness, and you're like, shit, what just happened? People loved me, and now the crowd has shifted. So I used to have this little breakdowns in between when the it's very natural. Okay, not many people express about it, but I'm very bold enough to express. I used to feel, okay, people forgot me. But I made it a point that people don't forget me, because I wanted to make myself as a brand in Yakshagana field. And there was an instance where people told me that in spite of being an amateur Yakshagana artist, she's hitting shows which is going to hit a bread of a person who is a professional artist. So that kind of issues used to come. So I made sure that I made my own team. I made sure that I and a professional artist perform together in the same stage, so that they understand that I'm going to handhold them and work with them and not work against them. So I wanted to get them to believe that I'm working for them and not against them. So that is one thing.
You have a Yakshagana school, if I'm right, correct now?
Yeah, I had a center for imparting Yakshagana long back.
Look at this question. At what age you were first disappointed?
I was not disappointed. The moment I was, I came out of my mom's womb, I was like, oh my God. No, I was not old enough to, digest that. The disappointment word only came to me probably at a very later age where I was mature. Till then, everything was like, kids play, and nothing was very serious to me. I think I can't mark that day.
Somebody is questioning your statement. You said that the rejection you faced in the corporate world was not borne by you. I mean, it's unbearable.
Yeah. It was unbearable.
So
initially,
they say, why can't we face such humiliation?
Me? Why can't I face?
Yeah, exactly.
He's questioning me. Oh my God. Thing is, it's not that I gave up on it, But I was shocked that I was so pampered and I was having such an illusion of a corporate world. And when I suddenly got in touch with the reality, I was tasked. I mean, I was so perplexed that I didn't know how to express, and I couldn't even express it to my mother because she had a lot of expectations out of me, and I had to keep it for myself. The reason behind the panic attack was because it bottled up. And the moment you're alone in a new place and the feelings bottle up, it comes out in between your sleep. So panic attack is that has a scientific reason. I didn't run away from it. I handled it well because I'm still working for that organization even now from Mangalore. I'm handling so many projects in Mangalore. So I don't think I just made a smart move is what I believe.
You seem to have a high corporate caliber. Why did you choose being a lecturer? I don't know what statement. How dare you?
No, corporate caliber illa. Just 2 months I went and worked there. Nothing else.
But what he meant probably was your personality actually displays a pure corporate caliber.
You know, in corporate, there are very less people to know you. 1 minute. There are less people to learn from you actually. But in a college, when a school, I can we have this saying which says ಗಿಡವಾಗಿ ಬಗ್ಗದು ಮರವಾಗಿ ಬಗ್ಗೀತೆ ಅಂತ. We have that word. So with the proverb. So what I believe is in corporate, there is nobody to learn from me. I don't have anything to give them. They already have their set of principles, their frameworks, their beliefs. I don't have to influence anybody there. But if I could have an access to the young generation today, I can implant a lot of new things into them so that, when they come out, I want to see some characteristics in them, and that could bring about a lot of change. And that's the biggest contribution that I can give, I believe.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm getting series of messages. Please get her to campus as soon as possible. Definitely, don't worry. That's my responsibility. I will get her. Final question I would take, because I have promised you for 1 hour. I won't delay more than that.
Yes,
what is maturity according to you?
Maturity according to me is knowing how to behave and how to be and how to react at various situations. That is maturity. Maturity doesn't always mean you have to post nothing on social media, act very serious, have a straight face. And no, it's not maturity. Maturity is having a right concoction of empathy, understanding, analyzing, and responding. That's it. Clean. Nothing big, nothing rocket science.
Right.
You can't be mature and you can't tell me that you're not mature because you're always jumpy and giggling. I can be mature and still run around the corridor in college in spite of being a lecturer. I do that even now.
Okay, this is the last one I would take because that can be a good conclusion to it. Mm-hmm. Do you have any ultimate goal in your life?
See, I am not a person who works by the goals because I feel goals set a limitation to me because I could be much more than it, maybe. Who knows? I always believe that. So if I set a goal, I'll be working towards it and I'll never think about it. So I thought maybe just go with the flow. And there are people telling dead fish go with the flow. No, I'm not a dead fish. I'm a smart fish. I'm not going to go by the goals. But yeah, I do have a very general purpose in my life. That is, I want to give more than what I took from the society. That's it. Nothing else.
There cannot be any fab end to this, such a lovely discussion. Disha, I'm speechless. I'm falling short of words to thank you for this very energetic session. I meant by my words, I don't remember any such instance where the students had, flooded my chat box with so many questions. In fact, I'm still receiving. There are about, can you believe, 17 to 20, 100 messages again. Oh, what I would do that, I will convert those into questions and I'll mail it to you.
Please.
Whenever you're free. Yes, whenever you're free.
I'll do that. And please, students, please stay in touch. And I'll meet you soon in your campus. We'll have a nice interactive session, maybe more than an hour.
Somebody wants one-liner motivation from you.
One-liner motivation. One thing that I had as an artist is nothing but let them hate so long they fear. Finish.
Lovely. Excellent. So I won't take much time. As I promised, it was a fantastic session. I'm sure if it would have been virtually, it was such a fantastic session. But just imagine if we all come together in the same platform and physical classes, a physical session in our campus. I'm very optimistic that you're gonna set the stage on the fire. I'm eagerly waiting for that day.
Thank you. Me too.
I think, I should give you at least minimum 2 to 3. These people will take yours 2 hours for question and answers only. right?
We'll take a day seminar. It's fine.
Please ensure that you put a days off there in Sahyadri.
Yeah,
Don't tell
sure.
that I'm coming today. I'm
Sure.
completely off because I'm packed up in Disha College in Udupi. Well,
Sure, sir.
I'm personally looking forward to that one session
Thank you.
of yours.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
And as always, it was wonderful interacting with you. You were very energetic, so motivating. At a young age, you have achieved a lot. And
Thank
as a
you.
well-wisher of you, as a proud teacher of you, I always wish you a great future.
Thank you, sir.
And may you achieve still more success in your life. We are all there to see you grow and grow. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And students and faculties, thank you also there for being in this session throughout. It was really an amazing session. On behalf of my students team and the top management and the teaching staffs, I extend a heartfelt thanks to Disha Shetty. Thank you so much. I look forward to see you all again. Have a great evening now.
Thank you. Bye-bye, students. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.